please. Thank you. Well, it's 5 o'clock, so thank you all for joining us. Welcome to this regular meeting of the Carefree Town Council. Ms. Contreras, please take a silent roll call. Looks like we're all present tonight. And Steve Feld of the Chamber of Commerce, please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And as we begin, I just want to remind everyone that when you speak into the microphone, speak head on into the mic, and when you come up to speak, if you speak a call to the public or an agenda item, please come up to the podium and speak into the microphone so we can all hear you and the folks at home can hear you. So for call to the public, we have these chits, these forms, so please fill one out. And you can either speak a call to the public or we have public comment to an agenda item. So please mark whatever your preference is and we'll call you up at the appropriate time. First up on the agenda is the consent agenda. We have 3 items. All items listed here under are considered to be routine by the Town Council and will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member so requests, in which event the item will be removed from the consent agenda and will be discussed separately. Item number 1, approval of the October 3rd, 2003 Town Council regular meeting minutes. Item number 2 is not in our packet, so we will not address item number 2. We'll take that up on January 2nd at our next council meeting. Item number 3, acceptance into the public record of the November 2023 paid bills. So council, are there any of these items which you wish to have removed from the consent agenda for further discussion? Okay, hearing none, I will entertain a motion for the approval of consent agenda items number 1 and 3.
I move that we accept agenda items 1 and 3.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It passes unanimously. Thank you. Item number 4. Introductions and appointment of an applicant to the Planning and Zoning Commission. So the following applicants will be considered for a vacant seat. So we have 1 vacant seat on our Planning and Zoning Commission. Ariane Buser, Philip Henn, Lon Johnson, Kevin Sullivan. So the way this will happen is I will call each of you up one at a time. You'll have 2 minutes to introduce yourselves to the council or to the public. And then after that, we will discuss amongst ourselves our thoughts. We'll open it up to any public comments. And then we'll take a vote. So the person we appoint will serve the duration of the term of the vacant term, which is in the midst of a 2-year term, which will expire on, I believe in February, if that's correct, of 2025. And then that person can reapply if they wish for a 4-year term. Because if you recall, earlier this year we passed an ordinance to have 4-year staggered terms for our planning and zoning commissioners. During the vote, a person needs to have a majority, so a majority of 7 is 4. And if it turns out that we have candidates with less than 4, we will take the 2 top vote getters and do the process again. So any questions about the procedure? So hearing none, so what we'll do is we'll just pick the names out of this bucket. You'll come on up and speak to us for 2 minutes. The town clerk will monitor the time. So first up is Ariane Buser.
Okay, top of the alphabet. Hello, hi everyone.
My name is Ariane Buser, and I'm requesting your nomination for the Planning and Zoning Committee position. Over the past few weeks, I've had the pleasure of speaking with several of the Town Council members about the Planning and Zoning Committee. Thank you all for taking the time to meet with me. I really do appreciate it. While my direct professional background, which is in business and technical consulting, may not scream planning and zoning expert, I believe that my diverse professional experience can only add to the existing team. I have been a consultant for over 20 years across many industries, from doing large database implementation to launching CRM solutions and HR information systems implementation and management. Consulting is all about working closely with people from different backgrounds to not only provide a service for the client, but also to achieve a goal that drives advancement or improvement for the client. Some key skills that I believe that will translate to being on the Planning and Zoning Committee from consulting are clear communication. Being able to clearly communicate and speak with people from all areas is imperative to gain support and trust. Number 2, transparency of decision-making. Clearly identifying research to help back up a decision so that the client, or in our case for the planning and zoning, a resident, knows how a final decision was decided upon and the steps to achieve that decision. Number 3, being curious and never stop learning. That's something that I will definitely possess in this role because I'm not a planning and zoning expert, but being curious and eager to dive into an unknown area and research it to help drive to a desired solution for the client is something that I really enjoy. Number 4, being an active listener. Being present and listening to the needs and concerns of the client, having an open mind, and asking detailed questions of the client to understand the issue, concern, or question from their perspective. Number 5, creative solutioning. Propose new ideas that allow for discussion before coming to a final solution.
Okay, we hit the 2-minute mark.
Oh, I did? Oh, my gosh, that was very fast. Okay, basically to wrap it up, real quick, collaboration. So teamwork makes the dream work. So even though I know that I'm not experienced in this area, I know that this will be a great challenge for me, and I look forward to being a part of the group. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next up is Kevin Sullivan. Oh, okay, great.
Good afternoon, Mayor Crane, Vice Mayor Coyer, members of the council, and Planning and Zoning Commission, and the community that's behind me. My name is Kevin Sullivan, and I've been a full-time resident of Carefree for 5 years now. When my wife and I decided to move from Scottsdale, we quickly decided that Carefree was absolutely the ideal place for us. We enjoy the character and spirit of the town and the sense of community that's been established. And as the slogan says, it's a great place to work, live, and play. And I've definitely enjoyed that up here the first 5 years. In my past life, all my jobs have resulted in creation of value for customers and constituents. To have success, it required critical thinking and the development of creative solutions to solve complex problems, working cross-functionally to ensure all key stakeholders were involved in developing those solutions allowed me to build consensus and drive positive results for everyone involved in that process. I think those traits and experiences would serve me well as a member of the Carefree Planning and Zoning Commission, and it would be a privilege to be part of the team. Thanks for your consideration.
Okay, thank you. Lon Johnson.
Good evening. My name is Lon Johnson. This is actually the third time I've had the opportunity to address the council. I previously applied for the P&Z when it was originally formed, and then again when there was an open council position. I spent the last 42 years in the private business sector. I'm currently the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Colbert Packaging. I'm also a member of Colbert's Board of Directors. Along with my responsibilities at Colbert, I've served as President of the Institute of Packaging Professionals for 6 years, and I was on the executive board of the Drug, Chemical, and Associated Trades Organization. I offer the Planning and Zoning Board a strong business background with experience in both sales and operations. In March, I joined the Desert Foothills Leadership Academy. This year-long program provides great insights into state and local government. It also lays a solid foundation for leadership endeavors. Through the program, I've met leaders within our community. I've also gained valuable experiences throughout tours and presentations in the local area. After my graduation from the program, I was asked to become a member of their advisory board for the class of 2024. During these multiple processes, I've had the opportunity to meet Mayor, many of the council members, and through those conversations, I've been transparent and I've shared my views on numerous subjects that would affect Carefree. I've never been a quitter, and that's why I'm up here for the third time. My wife and I have fallen in love with this area, and we plan to make this our final destination. I have no personal agenda. I simply want to be part of a solution and help enhance this beautiful town that we all live in. Thank you for your consideration.
Okay, thank you. Okay, last but not least, Philip Henn.
Good evening, Mayor Crane, Vice Mayor Croyer, the council members, and the town members behind me. My name's Philip Henn. I've been a Carefree resident since 2014 part-time and have moved from New York City here full-time 4 years ago. I've been a real estate broker up here for my 4 years plus 25 years in New York City. I've worked with developers on subdivisions, special use permits, and zoning ordinances in New York City, and can certainly transfer that knowledge here to Carefree. In addition, I've served on the Carefree Public Advisory Committee. I've been an ambassador for the Carefree Town, and I've also served as an ambassador for the Carefree and Cave Creek Chamber. I feel the importance of this position is trying to drive revenues, tax and otherwise, both short and long term, through planning and development. And of course, I love Carefree dearly. Would love to be part of the group if possible. Thank you for your time.
Okay, well, thank you. So that wraps up our 4 candidates. And before I just turn over to the council, I really appreciate all of you stepping forward. We have it's a great crop, a great group of candidates. And one of the cool things tonight is we're going to appoint someone who hasn't served before. So I'm a big believer in having new faces, whether it's on council or on planning and zoning or any of our other committees. Because there's a tremendous amount of talent in this town. If you look at the resumes of the folks who stepped forward tonight, you'd see that. So with that, I'll open it up to the council if they have any comments or questions. And speak up.
I just want to say that I was really impressed with the 4 candidates. I met with each one of you individually, and I think each one of you would bring a really good perspective and a really good piece of experience to this position. We can't pick all 4 of you, so I urge whoever does not get picked to please don't go away. Please stay involved. There are lots of things that we need in this town, not just P&Z, but we're going to need a couple of new council members next year. So please stay involved, and thank you for coming forward and putting your names up.
Any other comments from council? Okay, so we have no public comments, no slips were submitted. So with that, we'll just open it up to a vote, and I would just ask town clerk to just poll the council, and they'll vote, and we'll keep track of what happens. So our town clerk doesn't have a voice, so why don't I just take care of it? Councilman Miller?
Okay, well, I echo the comments. I think Carefree is very lucky to have received such high-quality candidates for the position, and as well, I had spent time with all 4 of them. I believe that they all have the traits to fulfill the position of the Planning and Zoning Commission. The skills for all of these people range from law to leadership skills and history with the community. Taking all that into assessment, my vote is for Lon Johnson.
Okay, thank you. Councilwoman Amorosa?
Thank you. I too would like to thank all of the candidates, and unfortunately we can only pick one, but we have a community that can always use help, so please stay involved. My vote is for Lon Johnson. I have interviewed him 3 times because he's very persistent, which I appreciate. I think his 40 years of successful sales and marketing experience adds value here. He's also been on the board of his firm, and he took the extra step to do the Desert Foothills Leadership Academy, which Though he already had proven leadership skills, he wanted to enhance them and learn more about the community. So I think that was a great step in proving his commitment to the community. I also appreciate that he is a positive, action-oriented individual, and I think that's always the most helpful way to help the community to move forward and grow. So my vote is for Lon.
Very good. Councilman Delicio.
Yes, echoing my two colleagues here to my right regarding thanking all four of you for stepping forward. I'm a big proponent of getting involved in town and letting your actions speak louder than your words. And while there is a lot to be done around our community, teamwork is a big part of that. And this person had a chance to speak with on several occasions, and I feel that Philip Henn has put his best foot forward, has worn the blue vest in town and volunteered, and that takes a lot to be a source of information when every other person that comes to you asks you where the bathroom is. And I feel that he's well ingrained in the community, as are the rest of you, but since there is only one position, my vote is cast for Philip Henn.
Councilman Johnson.
Well, it's a tough choice. I reviewed all the resumes, and some of them I've talked to in the past. But I'd have to say that I agree that Lon Johnson would be a good choice. So that's where my vote goes.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Hatcher.
Although I didn't have an opportunity to visit with everybody, I did obviously read all the resumes, and I'm looking forward to the projects we have going forward in the community in the development of our northeast and northwest, the infamous northwest corner. So I think in taking that into consideration in the contributions by each of the parties, I'm going to support Mr. Johnson in this transaction.
Okay, very good. Vice Mayor.
I echo what Sheila and Stephen and Michael have said. I'd just like to say that third time is the charm, and I'm going to vote for Lon Johnson.
Okay. So it's my turn. I also vote for Lon Johnson. Lon, if you talk to Lon Johnson, not only does he have a good business background and career, he's an analytical person. He listens. He's engaged in the community. After he was not picked for planning and zoning, I suggested to virtually all, if not all, of the candidates who weren't selected, even those who were selected, to sign up for the Desert Foothills Leadership Academy. He did it, and he's a graduate. And for those of you who don't know what that program is, this gives you a well-rounded background in everything that goes around in the community, law enforcement and fire and water and government and on and on. So he has a great foundation. And I'll just say, the other three candidates, thank you for stepping up. There's opportunities for you elsewhere, and we hope you'll stick around. So, having said that, we'll close the voting, and Mr. Johnson has 4 or 5?
He has 6.
6? Okay, and Mr. Henn has 1 vote. So thank you all. Congratulations, Lon. You're a member of Planning and Zoning. Item number 5, current events. We have a few current events. Friday, December 8th, we have another community conversations. So that's an opportunity for the residents to come out and visit with me. And along with me will be Councilman Hatcher and Councilman Delicio. So that's this Friday in the Visitor Center. So it's the same time the farmers market's going on, so you could stop there from 9 a.m. to 11 o'clock. So please come by. It's casual. It's just an opportunity to talk and just let us know what's on your mind, what your ideas are, that sort of thing. So it's our 4th one, I think, and it's been a pleasure for me every time. So I encourage you to come on out and do it. Also, this week, beginning December 7th, is the Hanukkah and Carefree program. So that's 8 nights beginning at Thursday, the 7th of December at 5:30. So it's for those of you who have not experienced before, I would suggest go to their website, hanukkahandcarefree.com, and it's a community event. It's a family event, and it's quite enjoyable. You'll learn I certainly learn things from the times I've gone, and I encourage you to go. I think Mr. Miller has some other
Yes.
events.
So Saturday, December 16th, 2 p.m. in the Cave Creek Memorial Cemetery, the Black Mountain chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution will place a wreath on each of the veterans' grave sites. The next item is the Garden Seminar series that starts in January through April. And here is a rack card that has more information about each of the seminars. So, could be fun.
So that rack card is also there on that table. We have them in the visitor center and in town hall. Any other current events?
Just the Toys for Tots
Oh,
by
go
Rural
ahead.
Metro. And I believe I saw them carrying a box into the post office building, if I'm correct. Am I correct on that? Yes. And in front of their station.
Okay, very, very good. All right, any others? Okay, that closes current events. Next up, item 6, call to the public. So those wishing to address the council need not request permission in advance. The public may address the council on matters not on the agenda. At the conclusion of an open call to the public, individual members of the public body may respond to criticism made by those who have addressed the public body, may ask staff to review a matter, direct staff to study the matter, reschedule the matter for further consideration and decision at a later date, or may ask that a matter be put on a future agenda. However, the council may not discuss or take legal action at this time. Please limit your comments to not more than 3 minutes. So we have 3 slips here, so when I call your name, please come up, state your name and address, and please limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes. First up is Mr. John Mattis.
Good evening, John Mattis, Great Thorn Circle. In 2017, in fact, on February 28, 2017, there was a special council meeting. How's that? There was a special council meeting, and this council meeting was about developing certain areas of town. That resolved into 2020-11 resolution, which was pretty much the same type of information that was given, the exact same locations for development. 2 of them was the 48 acres of state land. It was to be a hospitality and retail, and that's still number 2 on the work strategies that was given in 2020-11. And then there was the northeast corner of Tom Darlington, or northwest corner of Tom Darlington and Carefree Highway. That had a special planning area that was passed, and now I understand for some reason that somebody wants to put it in the general plan, which I'm totally against. It needs to be a special planning area. It's currently a residential 5 parcels, I believe. And if a developer wants to do it, okay, they can come to the planning and zoning, but it shouldn't be in the general plan. What was in the general plan, the old general plan before on the 48 acres, was they were going to look into making that a park. For some reason, that never happened. So you've got 2 times the town has identified the 48 acres to be pretty much high density. If you're talking about 1.6 acres per parcel, now you're talking about making it higher. A resort would make it higher. A hospitality area would make it higher, which is pretty much a resort because that's what was identified at Tom Darlington and Carefree Highway. That isn't wanted by the residents. It's been pretty much stated in the general plan meetings they don't want it. to say that people are saying that that is a high-density area and be told that it's not, and that's duplicitous, I have a problem with. For the definition of duplicity is deceitfulness and double dealing. I don't see any deceitfulness and double dealing in stating what the town has presented in the past. I don't think that's necessary. I try and carry around a Constitution of the United States.
3 minutes are up, sir.
As you see on the front, it says, "We, the people." I understand that. I was just finishing up, sir.
Thank you. Stan Roth.
Mayor, council, happy holidays and all that. Diane Roth, I live in Carefree. I spent the last 3 weeks sitting in front of the post office talking to the populace about the general plan. So I made a list of 10 things I learned at the post office. Number one, the residents of Carefree love their town. Number two, the majority want to maintain the town as a small town with all its charm. 3, all but 2 people hate the Hampton Inn. I found 2 people who love it. The majority want the northeast corner developed, don't understand why it hasn't moved forward. The majority are in favor of Carefree Park, the 48 acres. Half the people did not know what a general plan was, which was kind of frightening since we had all those workshops. Half did not know they could have input on the general plan. When I said, well, go and comment, well, I can't do that. I said, of course you can. The majority found the website confusing and hard to go. In fact, some brought their phones so we could show them how to comment. Most feel that we do not need another resort. And for number 10, the people who live in Carefree want to be carefree and enjoy it. So happy holidays.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Jeff Leader.
Hello. I'm here.
Please state your name and address.
Leader. I live in Cave Creek. I'm here to address a matter of public safety. I'm a cyclist. I'm 77 years old. I ride my bicycle 3 times a week, do 150 miles a week, and part of that route takes me down Cave Creek Road. And at the intersection of Cave Creek Road and New River Road, there is a pothole. And I have experience trying to get around this pothole without getting myself killed, because you have to get into traffic to avoid it. I saw 2 road crews out there, and both of them I said, hey, and they were like within 15, 20 feet of this. I said, can you just put some blacktop over, do something to save, somebody getting killed? They said, oh, sure. Never was done. My next calls were to Gary Neese. He assured me, oh, yes, I'm going to take care of it within a week. You'll see progress is going to happen. Well, I never heard back. Called him back after a couple of weeks. Nope, can't do anything. He wasn't going to do anything. And I said, what about me winding almost up in a hospital? I hit that pothole, ruined a $200 rim on my bike. Almost went down. He said, well, we're happy you're not in the hospital. And that was the end of that conversation. My next call was to John Crane, your mayor. And he informed me that he was a cyclist. He understood what was going on. I have a photograph of this potholes for you all to examine if you'd care to. And it was reported by the way, in one of the local newspapers. Anyway, the mayor told me he was a cyclist. He'd go out there, he would look it over, and yes, he got back to me and said, yes, it's dangerous. Yes, we're going to take care of it. Never heard back. Nothing has been done. And then I was informed by Mr. Crane that it would be taken care of in April or May of next year. I said, that's really unacceptable. I mean, if you people are willing to have the possibility of somebody getting seriously injured, a lawsuit, damage to our bicycles, and you guys don't do anything about it. And you're not even interested in doing anything about it. From everything that I heard, my conversations, I got lip service, nobody ever called me back. And I'm very disappointed, and I don't want this to go any further. I just moved here from Maui a year and a half ago, and while I lived in San Diego, I was in the town of Encinitas for 25 years, and we had a similar incident in the town of Carlsbad, and we called them up immediately because people hit a pothole, damage, and within the hour, they had cones up. Within the next day, they had it covered.
Your
Thank
time's
you
up,
much.
sir.
Time's up.
Thank you. Okay, so I have no additional slips. Well, that's unfortunate. I have no additional slips. That closes call to the public. So now we, the council, can respond to criticism. And I would just say to Mr. Leader, I personally went out there with a tape measure and I measured the depth of this pothole, and it measured anywhere from an eighth of an inch to a quarter of an inch deep, literally. Any other comments from council? Okay, that closes call to the public. Okay, before we adjourn, I would just like to say, express my appreciation to the council and to the staff for all they've done this year. It is a demanding job. It requires things that the public doesn't see, extra hours, that appreciation and thanks also goes to their families, because sometimes they take work home, sometimes they spend extra hours, and if they're not physically taking stuff home, they're mentally taking stuff home. So please know that we really appreciate that, and that goes to the council and to the staff. Any other, well, we have to wrap up.
I actually do have I do have a question. With regard to Mr. Leader, was there a promise made that we would fix that crack in the road?
Can we talk afterwards? Because, I mean, I think there was criticism, and I do
Right,
think, Councilman,
but that
you're
concerns
asking-
me.
Yeah, I think we can take it up as a
Okay.
city afterwards, if that's okay, Councilmember, is that okay?
Yeah.
Because I think that's a fair question, but I think it'd be better to be taken up after the meeting.
Okay.
In fact, Mr. Leader did basically say there was a solution offered, but we can talk about it more. All right, so item number 7, adjournment. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes unanimously. Thank you all very much for coming out tonight.
Wow, a record.
I know. He was right. It was going to be short.